I'm going to show you how to use some batch processing out of Bridge to make your job easier in submitting files and saving files in different formats. So I've just got this folder right here of these 8 images of these textures. What I'm going to do right now, they are, if I click on one here, it's a large file. It's 144 megabytes, 8,000 by 5,000 or so pixels on each side there. So that's big. So what I want to do is basically resize these to a smaller JPEG, which will be easier to move around on the web and the server and other things like that. So what I'm going to do is just select all of these. So if I have a folder where I have all of them that I want to select, I can just click Command A or select all. So if you want to go to File, we can select all here under Edit, select all. That'll select everything in the folder. Once those are all selected, I'm going to go to Tools, Photoshop, and Image Processor. When I click on this, it will then open in Photoshop. And you can see here that Photoshop's dialog shows up. And I have a couple of options here where it's selecting the images to process from Bridge. So that's already taken care of. And then it's asking me where I'd like to save the images. You could choose a new folder here, where you'd actually click here and specify where on your computer you'd like to save that folder. I'm going to save it in the same location. And what that's going to do is create a new folder named JPEG, because this is clicked because I'm doing a JPEG. And what this is going to do is we're going to keep the quality high, so 12, and then I'm going to check this box, resize to fit, and I'm going to type in 1,000, or in this case I'm going to type in 1,500 pixels on both sides. And that's a pretty good sized JPEG. And so that'll give me enough detail that I can send it to somebody and then see what's going on. Now I could click these other boxes and it would make a Photoshop file, a PSD, as well as a TIFF file. So if in a way you could save other formats with that, but I'm only going to do a JPEG, and then when I'm ready to go, I just hit run, and this is where I get to sit back and have a piece of candy or a nice cold beverage while Photoshop does its thing. You'll notice that it's starting to load the textures up here. You can see it's processing these files, and if I were to go back to my textures folder, you'll notice that there's a new folder right here named JPEG, and if I double click on it, you can start to see those files come in each time. Looks like there was a mistake on one of those, but as you can see right here, this image now is 1,500 by 1,000. So whichever side is longest, it will give that dimension. But that went from 144 megabytes to 1.79, which is a considerable smaller file. So now what I can do, if I go back to textures, I could just do this, select the folder, and put my name or whatever that folder needs to be, and then this image, this folder, I could drag to the server and upload it to be turned in. So that's the method that I like to use to process a lot of files and simplify that whole process.